Hello, everyone. This is Felix Contreras again from NPR's Alt.Latino, NPR Music's Alt.Latino. We're here for another Instagram Live. We're going to have Jhay Cortez and Buscabulla here today. But before we get started, I want to remind you that today is the kickoff, the launch, the start of the Hispanic Heritage Month Alt.Latino takeover of the Tiny Desk concert. We're calling it El Tiny. That's what the musicians have been calling the Tiny Desk, El Tiny. So we're taking over for a month. We're going to have 10 concerts. We announced it yesterday. Lots of great artists. And we kicked it off today, a couple hours ago now at noon Eastern time with Jay Belvin. So go to the NPR YouTube page to check it out. Go to npr.org/music. You can check it out there. Look for Tiny Desk. Great concerts coming up this month. Great performances, and we kick it off with Jay Belvin. And again, you're already doing it. Thank you for writing in where you guys are listening from. Italia. I saw Barcelona. Yeah, Diamante Electrico is part of the Tiny Desk takeover, El Tiny this week. Thank you, Angelica. Mexico's represented. Yes, send me a message and we'll go from there. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, now let's see. Now we have to push some buttons to try to find both Jay and Buscabulla. So again, it's the usual. Have patience with Felix while we look for the musicians. All right, let's start. There's, oh my own. I had it and then I lost it. I'm so sorry. Okay, here we go. We are very, very excited to have these two musicians. These, hold on a second. We are trying to pull these. There's got to be a better way to do this. There we go. There's Jay. And now we're going to look for Buscabulla. Hello, Jay. Are you there?
Yeah.
How are you, bro? ¿Cómo estás? I am trying to type in the screen name for Buscabulla so we can bring them in. There we are. Buscabulla. Send request. Hey, man. Very good to see you.
Good. How are you?
¿Cómo estás? You looking sharp.
Oh!
Look at this, man. This is so cool.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Hi, Felix.
Look at this, man. So excited about this one today. I'm going to put my speaker up here so we can hear you. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. In case you don't know who we're talking to, this is Luis Alfredo del Valle and Raquel Berrios from Buscabulla, and of course, Jhay Cortez for today's Instagram Live. Yeah, thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good. Hey, saludo.
Okay, so just so we know, because I always ask people that are watching to let us know where they're watching from. Jay, where are you right now?
I'm in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, okay. How about you guys, Buscabulla?
We literally just landed in New York, so we're like
an hour ago.
Yeah. We just a hotel room and just literally logged in.
We just prayed the flight wouldn't get delayed. We're here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we have the music spirits guiding us all the time here in Alt.Latino, so hopefully that'll work out, man. And I'm glad it did this time. Again, people who are watching, we do want to remind you, just write in the messages where you guys are watching from. And I think that our guests, when you're watching, you'll be surprised because these folks are listening from all over. You guys have fans everywhere, so we're very, very excited. And we will be doing a little bit of English, a little bit of Spanish today, so a little bit of both. Everybody's watching from all over the place. I think the first question is, let's talk about the album, though, Jay, the new album. timeless, very, very big step, major step for you in terms of sound and the sources and all that stuff. Talk a little bit about how the collaboration with Buscabulla came about.
I mean, it was something totally genuine, I think, and unplanned. You know, I was already like a really big fan of them both. I think they didn't know. So I didn't know either. It was just a friend of mine that sent me. Like, era un post que habían hecho y pusieron ustedes que de quién de los urbanas escuchaban y eran Jhay Cortez, pues a mí me impresionó mucho. And, you know, I got excited and I reached out to them and next thing we were in my house just compartiendo and listening to the album that it wasn't done by then. It was just like, I think it was halfway done. And I definitely wanted, them to be a part of my album because this album was mostly everything that I like and that's, taken me to here and all my roots and everything that makes me what I am, And they're totally a part of it 'cause, I listen to them a lot and definitely needed them in the album. So I was super excited that we got to do that.
So, Raquel and Luis, what was your reaction when you heard from Jay's people that he wanted to record with you guys?
It was pretty crazy. I mean, it was the middle of the pandemic. It was like September. I remember telling Luis, like, damn, we feel so lonely. Like, we're like missing New York and being like, oh, we used to collaborate with people. Like, we're all the way out here in Aguadilla. And we were like, who are we going to collaborate with here in Puerto Rico? And then Jayco just like hit us up on Instagram and just telling us to go to his house to listen to his record. So I remember telling Luis, and Luis is like, what?
Okay.
So really crazy, really surreal because first of all, it's crazy because Jayco lives literally on the other side of the island, on the east side and on the west side. And it was literally like, yo, let's just.
We were squashing the east side, west side beef.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no beef on, yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's kind of how it happened. So pretty surreal on our part, for sure.
That's one of the things. We did a show maybe about a month and a half ago, and it's one of the things that I've always been impressed with since doing Alt.Latino, and just in general, going back to some of my first visits to Puerto Rico, it's just the amazing variety of music that's found on the island. People from my generation, when you hear Puerto Rico, the first thing you think about is salsa. And then, of course, the younger generation, they would think about probably reggaeton. But we've interviewed, AJ Davila from Punk. We've done all kinds of different things. There's punk, there's electronic, there's folkloric, the masterful musicians of Balloon, the electronic stuff, there's cutting edge. It's such a rich musical community in the island. How does that work? Do you guys, are there different musicians that you guys collaborate with, you talk with, you see around, during normal times, not pandemic times? How does that interaction work?
I mean, I think it'd be different for Jay and for us.
Yeah.
We were in New York for almost 10 years, and we moved out to Aguadilla in 2018. So we had like 2 years of no pandemic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, which was super cool, and we did get to collaborate. We went to our friends' studios in San Juan, and did a bunch of collaborations that way. But we moved away from the city. We moved to a town in the west called Aguadilla, which is kind of its own thing. It's a little further away, so there's not as much musical, collaboration there as you would think.
Yeah, really big connection between New York and Puerto Rico, and I think the connection between the two spots makes I think a really interesting mix of sounds, like salsa, like in a way. Reggaeton is, I think, a really different animal, though, Jay. Like, I think it's like most of it comes out of Puerto Rico, right? Like, I think so.
Pueblos, there's not still find ways to really connect, and just find dates and days that we could maybe in our schedule be flexible and have the time like we did to get together and create. You know, even if it's from where they are, because part of it we did it like they did it in their house and in the studio, and then I heard it, and that's how it was working. And so, you know, most of the times you can still collaborate from far away. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah, with the technology. Jay, let's talk a little about. I feel like I can call you Jayco. Okay, let's let's talk a little bit about the music you heard when you were growing up. I think that a lot of times people don't understand the folks who are making reggaeton music, that they were exposed to a lot of different things. What were you hearing when you were growing up there in Puerto Rico?
I was hearing Don Omar, Dallas Don was obviously one of the albums that made me want to do music and want to get into music. Mas Flow was definitely another album. And then, you know, Los Benjamins and all these reggaeton. It was mostly reggaeton when I started growing up, but then I started listening to more pop rock, you know, in Puerto Rico. Then I started listening to 50 Cent, and from there to Drake, and from there to The Weeknd. So it just kind of all mixed up. I also like a lot of salsa and reggae, so it's all, you know, a mix of all those things.
And Luis and Raquel, like, what were you hearing, and how did it influence that really unique sound you guys have? I mean, it's just, you hear it and you know it's you because it's so distinct, you know?
Yeah, I think we both come from sort of, you know, similar but different backgrounds. I mean, I grew up listening to like Charlie Garcia and, you know, Silvio Rodriguez and a bunch of like Britpop bands, which I, you know, tried to imitate desperately throughout my teenage years. And
yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of salsa, a lot of rock from my dad, and a lot of underground, which was not even reggaeton at the time. I used to listen to it when like stuff would go around people with cassettes, and it was not even played on the radio, like Playero and The Noise. And
it's interesting because, though, I mean, I do remember that one of my first cassettes was that Don Chesina one, you know, where you had the Dale rewind al case para que tú veas. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
That was like one of my fucking jams.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like, it wasn't even reggaeton yet. It was like kind of like was still like dance hall rhythms, and, you know, people singing Spanish on top of it. So yeah, that and like a bunch of top 40 radio and rock en español and like a whole bunch of stuff.
I do want to remind the people that are watching, you know, again, thank you so much for watching and being here with us. And be sure to note in Saludos desde Cuba. Wow. Be sure to write in and tell us where you're watching from. And then also, if you have questions, put them in the messages, in the comments there, and we'll get to the questions, because we have two great artists here. And what's fascinating to me is that, you know, you represent two different branches of the Puerto Rican music scene, right? But what also impresses me is that the way that the track itself is seamlessly, it's like you guys have been making music like forever together. You know what I mean? That's like, Jay, how did you pull that off, man? What did you?
I didn't pull nothing. No, that was all them. I just.
Oh, your microphone's dropping out, man. Your microphone's dropping out a little bit. Maybe get a little closer to your camera, to your phone. Nada, bro. Nada. Perdón.
Escucha ahora.
Te sigo.
Ahora.
Ahora. Sí.
So I think it's really much about, you know, the love that we have for music in general, and how much we've been making music for, and it's just the way that you know, they've been listening to reggaeton for a long time, and they know how to mix it and not lose their essence, and make me not lose also the essence of my side of music, you know. So I think that's something that a lot of artists don't have and really need, and that's something that they have, you know. It's like to para innovar and to innovate, you gotta know how to take the best out of everywhere and just put it with yours without losing neither of the essence of each one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I think what happened here.
Yeah, I have to say though, gracias Jacob for inviting us to your house, because nowadays nobody sees each other anymore.
Yeah, you're the only person we've met.
Yeah. Literally, like Jacob literally invited us to his house, and we listened to a bunch of tracks from his record, and we were able to really kind of understand his vibe, you know. And we were able to like talk in length about what he wanted and like what types of sounds we were both kind of like vibing to. So I feel like sometimes like if people don't really see each other like in person, like I think a lot could be lost. So like I think it was really, really awesome that Jay like invited us to his house, because I think that we were really able to understand what he kind of wanted for his record, and we could really understand like how to approach it, because we ended up producing and writing and doing stuff that we would have never done it for ourselves, you know. It was something that Jacob kind of brought out in us, you know, to do, you know. So
And I think that it's really important for me, like when I'm going to collaborate with another artist, is to really like vibe and get them to know me, and to know them, you know, because it's todo va a ser todo va a ser una repercusión de ese momento que tuvimos, la vibra, you know. It's all gonna be about the vibe that was in the room when you was meeting and you was vibing and you was compartiendo, and that's what happened. Music is just una repercusión of that moment, you know.
¿Y por qué no
I think
hablamos un
so.
poquito en español? Y háblanos un poquito, Jacob, sobre eso. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Sí.
Okay, perdón. I didn't put the do not disturb on my phone, so people are calling me. ¿Por qué no hablamos un poquito en español? Jacob, hablamos un poquito sobre the guests that you have, que tienes en su disco. ¿Cómo conseguiste? How did you choose them?
It was really organically. Todo fue bien orgánico. Como que I tried to just get people that I saw in the album and I heard that really went well with the album. I didn't try to like just take anybody because they were like really popular or whatever, you know, and put them on the album. I just really found people that really went well with me and I had a really good connection with, and that really was active for the album. And people that inspired me, you know, that's why I have like Dile, I have Los Bandoleros with Archangel. I was really a big fan of Don Omar and Archangel when I was growing up. So I definitely needed something from them. So I'm glad I had to, you know, a song with Archangel. I did Dile from Don Omar. Le hice ese homenaje because, you know, he was really and is still a really big part of what I am today, you know, and inspired me so much. And the rest it's just stuff that inspires me today, you know, like Buscabulla, Hector El Father that came out in Christian Dior. I did something with Skrillex that for me was like a dream come true. You know, I was a really, really big fan of Skrillex when I was growing up, and I saw him as como un extraterrestre, ¿entiendes? So I never thought I was gonna be able to like produce with him, and it was a track that I started and he got to finish, and for me, you know, it was another accomplishment. You know, it was not just writing; it was being able to produce with one of my favorite producers. So this album was really special for me because it's more than just doing music for numbers or doing music to like really impress everybody. It was just really impressing me and the kid that was seeing this when it wasn't still this, you know what I mean? So it was really, really special.
Y por favor, háblanos un poquito en español sobre eso, lo que dijiste en inglés, porque la gente está pidiendo que hablamos un poquito de español.
Pues este álbum fue bien, bien especial para mí porque pude tener la oportunidad de reunir todas las cosas que me inspiran y que me inspiraron y me hacen ser quien yo soy hoy en día como artista y como persona. Y por eso es que tengo a Arcángel y Don Omar, porque eran dos personas que me inspiraron a ser el artista que soy hoy y tener el flow que tengo hoy. Y obviamente pues Buscabulla también me inspira mucho. Tokio con Skrillex, no embuste. En mi cuarto con Skrillex pues también es otro sueño hecho realidad, porque desde pequeño siempre fui súper fanático de Skrillex. Y tener la oportunidad no de escribir con él y aparte de estar en el estudio y tener una buena relación porque tenemos una buena amistad, fue poder producir con él, ¿entiendes? Mi cuarto fue una producción que yo empecé y se lo envié y él lo terminó. Así que aparte de hacer una canción con él y de tener un featuring con él, pude producir con él y para mí eso fue un sueño hecho realidad y por eso es que este álbum es tan especial para mí.
Y Raquel, Luis, después de esta experiencia, ¿están escuchando a la música de reggaetón un poquito más diferente, con más claridad? Like, are you listening a little bit more closely después de esta experiencia?
Bueno, lo interesante es que como que antes de que Jhay nos invitara a su casa, como que el reggaetón siempre era un enigma, como que para nosotros, como pues yo siempre súper fanática del reggaetón, desde siempre. Curiosamente, como que Luis y yo siempre hemos estudiado mucho las producciones, especialmente las producciones de Tiny, hasta las producciones de Looney Tunes, tú sabes, de cosas viejas, tú sabes, como que inclusive a mí me encanta escuchar cosas más viejas todavía y como que porque siempre ha sido algo que nosotros hemos observado y hemos estudiado, porque nos gusta estudiar mucho la música puertorriqueña en general, incluyendo las producciones del reggaetón. Y de que lo estamos escuchando de una forma diferente, pues puede ser, para nosotros, Jhay nos habló de muchas cosas de este mundo, así que para nosotros era un mundo secreto y como que ahora como
era
que
como el mago de Oz.
Era como el mago de Oz y era como que venga, acá tenemos muchas preguntas. Pero las contestó todas.
Todas, inmediatamente. Sin titubeo.
Pero definitivamente sí lo estamos observando. El reggaetón está pasando por un momento, el género urbano está pasando como que por unas transformaciones bien nítidas ahora, como que ya se está experimentando con ritmos nuevos. A nosotros siempre nos ha encantado el reggaetón porque es el único género que en verdad no mira para atrás, no es nostálgico, es bien progresivo, mira hacia el futuro, en un momento donde creo que muchos artistas estamos como medio mirando mucho hacia atrás, hacia la nostalgia. Y nos impresiona mucho el género y la rapidez con la cual esta gente hace música, como que, ¿sabes? Como que qué sé yo, ¿cuánto tiempo uno se puede tardar en hacer una canción? Como que yo creo que ya en una semana tú puedes liquidar una canción, ¿verdad, Jhay? O sea, nosotros nos tardamos un montón de tiempo produciendo, como que, y es bien fácil, como que el procedimiento, como que
también en cuestión,
fascinante.
Sí, en cuestión de también de como Jhay nos explicaba cómo él armaba una canción, a eso me fascinó, como que él me dijo, pues hermano, tengo una idea de una canción en mi cabeza, tengo unos acordes que puedo sacar de cualquier lado, yo le hago el beat y le canto la melodía encima y ya se fue, la canción básicamente está hecha, es como que la idea se está cuadrada y eso me pareció, me inspiró mucho, hermano, porque es como...
Fábrica de hits.
Sí, es como una manera de hacer la música sin pretensión, tú
sin
sabes.
Sin pretensión, sí. Rápida, como bien espontánea, está bien nítido.
Yo quiero aprender más de eso.
Sí.
Me gustaría ver si su música en el futuro va a tener un poquito de influencia de esta experiencia. No que ustedes van a ser estrellas de reggaetón, pero, you know what I mean? Like, will it come out, some of this stuff come out in your music, you know? ¿Me entiendes?
Well, you know, yeah, who knows? I think que desde siempre there's a nod. Siempre hay un reconocimiento al reggaetón dentro de nuestra música, porque el reggaetón es parte de la cultura puertorriqueña desde que nosotros estamos vivos, ¿me entiendes?
Y también para nosotros, por eso quise hacer esto en este álbum, porque también como que pues tienen un estigma con nosotros de que pues nosotros no escuchamos más nada, o que no podemos hacer otra cosa que no sea reggaetón, y esto es como que pues un reconocimiento a que sí escuchamos otro tipo de música y que nos encanta, ¿entiendes? Y que a veces como yo no soy de escuchar reggaetón, yo hago reggaetón y trap y hago ya, ¿para qué voy a estar 24/7 escuchándolo, ¿entiendes? Yo escucho otras cosas que pues de verdad son más allá y las veo más musical, pero eso es lo especial de ellos, porque puedo sacar cositas de cada lado, ¿entiendes? Obviamente yo no escucho una canción de reggae y voy y hago un reggae, sino cojo la inspiración de lo que pues me hizo sentir esa canción, y yo soy mucho de coger los sentimientos de, si algo me hizo sentir así, pues yo quiero sentir eso con mi música, y cómo yo llego a que mi música se sienta así especial. Y nosotros aprendemos demasiado también de otro género. Yo creo que somos el género que más aprende de otro género, porque hacemos demasiadas fusiones a través o sea, de la historia de reggaetón. Se ha visto cómo hacemos con bachata, cómo lo hacemos con salsa, cómo lo hacemos con rap, como ahora, entiende, le metemos el deep house y le metemos todas estas cosas, y el reggaetón es un género influenciado por los demás, ¿entiendes? Yo creo que eso es lo que hace que sea global y que la gente se una, porque es como un pedacito de todo el mundo.
Seguro.
Pues mira, that's a nice place to end this interview. You know, these Instagram live interviews we've been doing are just very, very short, 20-25 minutes, just to get to know the artist a little bit more. And in this case, get a little bit of an idea of the story behind this beautiful collaboration you did from a great record. Before we go, Buscabulla, what's happening? You guys have new records coming out, or a new album coming out, or what's going to happen?
Well, we're going to go on tour first. So we're going to play some dates, October and November. We're actually in New York now to play the New York Latino Film Festival in the Bronx on Saturday. And
but we'll be back in New York on the 16th.
Yeah, we'll
October
be back
16th.
in New York October 16th.
We'll play Miami at 3
LA.
Points on October 23rd, and San Francisco the week after that at Outside Land. So we've got some shows coming up for sure.
Yeah. And then, we started working on a second record, and we got some collaborations coming up. We got a collaboration.
Hopefully we can get Jay on ours now, you know?
Yeah.
It's ready for that second album already. I say we need it already, and totally 100%. Siempre.
Okay. You heard it here, man. You heard it here first on the Alt.Latino IG Live. With Luis and Raquel from Buscabulla and Jhay Cortez. I'm so excited and so very happy to be able to have Puerto Rico represented in these two great artists. Big fans of both. You guys are welcome back to Alt.Latino anytime. Next time you guys got something going, we'll just sit down and talk music again. How's that sound?
Gracias,
That's great. Thank you.
Gracias.
Okay, before we go, I do want to remind everybody that today we launched the El Tiny takeover of the Tiny Desk concert all month long for Hispanic Heritage Month, September 15 to October 15. We have 10 different artists. They're going to be doing Tiny Desk concerts. You can find the list on our website. You can find the list on social media. It's all over the place. We kicked it off today with J Belvin. We've got Diamante Electrico coming up in a couple of days from Colombia. So a lot of great stuff. You can look for it online. You can look for it at the NPR YouTube channel, the NPR Music YouTube channel. We're very excited about our takeover of the tiny takeover of the Tiny Desk concert. So be sure to watch all that stuff. And again,
the producer was taking over Tiny Desk, and I was like, oh man, that's gonna be dope. Thanks.
You know what?
Also,
maybe next year, man. That is a really good idea.
Out there, it's giving you gold.
Really good idea. Really.
Okay.
Mil gracias. Thank you so much. Thanks for everybody for watching, for tuning in. We're going to have another one in a couple of weeks. Just keep watching. Lots of stuff going on. Que viva la música. Thanks everybody for helping out today. Thank you.
Nos vemos.
Ciao. Ciao.